Hey everyone, this is Dave Hodge here with episode 10 of The Broken Dad. So let's get this started. Yeah.
I'll give you love, give you big love when you cannot love yourself. Yeah, I'll give you love. I'll give you hope, give you big hope, and we will be holding you up today. I know you're feeling like the world is on your shoulders.
Yeah, there are times I do feel like the world is on my shoulder. Um, some of it I bring upon myself. This whole, free will that us humans were given. I bring it up, brought it on myself. Sometimes it's just life's like, oh, well, we're going to do this differently. You may want to do it that way. I think it's going to happen this way. Um, so here I am. This is episode 10. Um, not really sure what I want to talk about here. Because the whole idea of this whole project, this YouTube series is, being a man, being a single father, and talking about, the struggles, just real life and the hard conversations, the hard topics, everything that's difficult is to talk about them. And I think I've done good, since episode one. You know, I've talked about me, I've talked about my daughter, I've talked about the loss, of my mom, I talked about the loss of my brother. I'm talking about, the loss of one of my favorite, music artists. Um, and that's just being real. I think you know, when we're doing, YouTube videos or, TikToks and everything, we want to edit, we want to make sure it's perfect. I'm doing these unedited um, because there needs to be a sense of reality. It needs to be real. It needs to be um, everything needs to be seen, heard, and felt. You know, normally I don't want to talk about, you know, the difficult conversations and topics and subjects in my life, but when I do these videos, it's like it's like therapy for me. It helps me get it out in the open. It lets me hear it in the open in my own words because I said it. Okay, these are your words. You said it. It's out in the open. Let's let's marinate. Let it marinate in your brain. You know. Um. I'm going to let me start off with this because not many people know this. Not people have seen my scar. But I think it's time because I'm always talking about, hey, I promise I'll show you my scar. I had open heart surgery, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, you talk about it, but you see anything from it. So, and I don't do this a lot, and there's a lot of reasons for it. It's not because I'm ashamed, it's not because I'm scared or, I hate it or anything. So let me do this. All right. And then I'll talk a little more about it. All right. From here all the way here. All right. Or that right there. What was that? You're thinking, like, oh shit, did he really do that? Yeah, I really did that. Excuse me. So, winter of 1979, I went in for my one and only open heart surgery. All right. This is June of 2025. It's about 25 and a half years ago. 25 and a half years ago, I got that scar. I had a valve replacement because it just needed to happen back in the day. Um, some of y'all have seen this scar and know what it was from. Some of you have seen this scar and were like, "What the hell? I never knew what that was." Some of y'all never seen that scar. I was like, "Oh, I never knew you had open heart surgery." Yeah. I don't talk about it a lot because it's not like an important part of my life that I like to talk about, Me personally, okay, I've had it. Okay, it's done. I've not had issues. And I like to move on with my life with it. That's why some of y'all never seen that scar. Some of you never knew I had open heart surgery. Yeah. So why am I talking about it now? Here I am. I just turned 48 this past Sunday. So it's officially what? June 7th. It's actually 2 hours 53 minutes into the 7th day of June of 2025. All right.
I'll give you big love when you cannot love yourself.
Oops. Wow. Yeah. That wasn't supposed to happen. So why am I showing you all this? Why am I talking about this? Um there's parts of me that I just don't talk about because it's not, important to talk about. But when I talk about my daughter Leslie and her open heart surgery, and it's because, my heart issues, you're like, well, I don't get it. It's like, I never knew you had. This is me be like, this is why my daughter has her heart issues because of me. Um, I call it my smiley face, right? Right? I'm going to do this again. This is my smiley face. Weep. Any eyes? That's my smiley face. Ta-da! um, I was one of the last people who had open heart surgery like that. Now, I could go deeper because my daughter's open heart surgery, hers from here to here. That's how my daughter's cut. I mean, her scar's large. I mean, some of y'all, thinking like the modern day, like you have a little like incision like this. My daughter's is like literally here to here to her navel, literally. Um, she's had 6 major open heart surgeries. Now, her first open heart surgery is like her second day of life, which is like behind here. Um, behind her on her back. I can't remember where, but it's right where I pointed in that area. That was her first, but she's had 6, and the other 5 were this big scar, and they kept opening up repeatedly. Um, But I don't walk through my everyday life like, oh, I have an heart issue. I need to be careful. I need people to recognize it. I need people to notice it. I want people to hear it, understand it, to accept it, to make laws about it. No, no, no. I don't care about all that. And we shouldn't care about this stuff. It just becomes just stupid things that we want people to recognize and acknowledge us for our differences. It's just dumb. No, no, no. Some of us, things happen in our lives of our own accord. Some things happen because we have no control over. Mine, I had no control over. I had no choice. It's hereditary. You can't control that, you know. Some of us, our decisions in life the choices we make, we do it on our own, thanks to free will. But no, I've had one open heart surgery, and knock on wood here, um, hopefully that's the only one I'll ever have. There's a point to where I'm careful. There's a point to where I will overwork myself to where I'm not paying attention, and someone has to be like, "Hey man, you need to take a break now." And you know, it's at that moment to where, I'm sweating profusely. I've I go out of my way to overwork myself because of my, open heart surgery. I have a point. I like to prove myself that I can do this. I don't want to limit myself. I don't want to play that card, It's what there are people in today's world likes to do. I think I came from an era to where we like to challenge ourselves. Oh, well, you say I can't do this, or I might not be able to do this. Hey, watch this bitch. Boom. You know? And I do it. And, my 20s, my 30s, it was awesome and everything. Now that I'm like late 40s, going into my head hitting 50, um, things are different. You know, my knees, it's like I get down low, but I'm gonna need a little help getting back up because my knees are like, man, we ain't got the strength anymore. Um, you know, I, you know, I have this whole, road to 50. I started when I hit 47. Like, okay, I got 3 years. What's gonna happen in 3 years before I hit 50? Well, here I am now a year later. So now I got 2 years on my road to 50. So I got 2 years left. So what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? What am I doing at all? Um, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm still, the grief of my mom, the majority of it's gone, but there's still remnants of it still there. You know, loss of my brother, from, 2020, 5 years, 5.5 years ago. And I'm still trying to, because I didn't get to mourn him properly. And I think it's, starting to hit from time to time a little more than it should, you know? And that's where I'm at today. I just I started a new job that I'm happy with, that I actually see myself, another 20 years retiring and I'd be super happy and ecstatic for. Um, you know, for those who don't know, I ain't been working for the past 7 months. A lot of it's, just staying at home to help my dad with my mom, then making sure my dad's okay, then, trying to get, this guardianship thing from my daughter done, which everything but the guardianship is done. But at least all the paperwork and one of the major parts of this guardianship is over. I just need to get that court date done. And that's really what I'm looking forward to. Um, I turned 48 this past Sunday, and please forgive me for the yawning. I know it's late. It's like not officially 3:03 in the morning, Saturday, June 7th, 2025. Um, I don't know. Things I used to love and enjoy, it's just not there anymore. For those who know me as a DJ, DJ Dizzy D, not seen anything from me in like a year, there's a reason. It's just a part of me that's just not there right now. I would love to get back to spinning again like I used to. I don't know when. I don't know if I'll ever get back to that point. Um, I've done a couple videos of you know, a piano tune I've been working on. Um, but that's as far as I've gotten. And I'll listen to that same thing over and over and never complete it. I'll never know why, because it's like I think I'm just happy. Maybe it's a mental thing to where I'm just happy like hearing that over and over and trying to find like a billion different ways to fine tune it and to add on to it and change it. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm just happy with the way it sounds. It's like if I tried to do anything different with it, it would ruin it. And that's where I'm at. It's you know, video games ain't the same for me. Movies ain't the same for me. Like all my favorite shows, it's like they're done for their season, or it's like they're just done forever. You know, like I'm just trying to fill time anymore with random shit. My daughter loves like specific movies coming out, like Lilo and Stitch. We went and seen Lilo and Stitch. It was a cute movie. It was definitely something to go see. Next Friday, How to Train Your Dragon, the live action uh comes out. My daughter's excited for that. I am too, and I can't wait to go see that. Um, and then after that, you have Megan 2.0, the second Megan movie, which I love the first one. She loved it. And we're both, excited for the second movie. But that's like the end of June. Then you got like a new Superman movie. I'm not excited about that at all. Like, at all. Like, Henry Cavill was my Superman. I loved Henry Cavill as Superman and as Geralt of Rivia for the Witcher series on Netflix. I'm just not excited anymore. It's like Stranger Things, like the final season, is going to be broken up into 3 parts. Like 3 parts for season 5 of Stranger Things. All right. Everyone is aged like tremendously, respectively per se. They're going to have to start season 5 out in a way for it to make sense of like why the kids and everyone else aged like 5 years. you know, because that's what it seems like. They aged 5 years. Um, I don't know. It's like there's just nothing that excites me anymore at the age of 48. I used to love to go into Kings Island. It's like I'm like they tore down the vortex. The only reason I went to Kings Island was to ride the vortex. Like, why would I want to go to Kings Island now? The Banshee, okay, the Banshee was awesome. Um, I think the Banshee, the Flight of Fear, Adventure Express. Those three alone are still enough to make me want to go to Kings Island. But that would be it. Um, what else? Concerts like when Blue October comes, the Tap Theater or the other concert venue they go to. That would be it. Like all my other favorite artists are either don't are no longer touring, they died, or they just don't come to Cincinnati anymore. So why bother? Um, let's talk about wrestling. When I started wrestling was one of the pay-per-views. I can't remember which one. Maybe it was a Royal Rumble or something back in 98, 99. And I got hooked on it and like became a fan of The Rock. Hated Triple H, but respected Triple H at the same time over the years. And then I stopped because, The Rock left to do his movies and everything. And they brought in a lot of new talent, and then I didn't know anybody, all the new people, and I stopped watching it. So here I am, you know. Here I am. WrestleMania a couple years ago when Cody Rhodes won the championship. That's when I got back into it. And then Raw on Netflix. And I started watching it again every week. And then SmackDown. And I'm enjoying it, but there's just something that's just not the same anymore. It's just not how I remembered it. And I guess it's just how things go as we age year from year. What we used to love and enjoy is just we can't get that back anymore. And no matter how hard we're chasing that high of nostalgia, we'll never have that experience again, you know? But that's just how I'm seeing everything now. Like, I used to love collecting Transformers, and I stopped. I got rid of my collection, and like, hey, it just wasn't fun because it's like you have all these modern robots that like was like a, a puzzle to do. It's like, and I remember growing up like when Transformers and GoBots were so simplistic and primitive, like, and that's why I fell in love with them. And so I'm like, got rid of them all, and I finished up my Masters of the Universe collection. Got me a Castle Grayskull, my He-Man, my Teela's, my Skeletors, and Evil Lens, and then from the actual Masters of the Universe movie, I got the characters from that, and I'm happy. Um, and then I recently started up my Transformers collection, but with a stipulation. This time it's going to be like specific masterpiece collections and Generation One figures. Meaning, if it's not G1 or any of the specific masterpiece figures, I'm not going to bother with it. And I'm content with that. Music, I don't really listen to radio. I don't listen to radio at all anymore. Like these new artists, it's not for me. Um, it's they support and believe in things I don't, and man, that should be a good thing, And I won't listen to them because of that. Like, I'll listen to all my favorite artists and I'll keep it at that. Like, same with movies. It's like, I watched the latest Captain America movie, Brave New World, and it was just an okay movie. It's like, it wasn't a Captain America movie to me. It was just okay and nothing more. It will never be a great movie. It will never be an awesome movie. I can never see something like that. And with moving forward with all the other Marvel movies after Endgame and Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I don't think I think I'm done with, the story that I, grew up with per se, and was more familiar with. It's done. It's over. They will never be able to recreate that, and I'm good with that. Um, Same with Star Wars. I mean, honestly, after Episode 9, that's it. We get the Mandalorian series. We got the the bounty hunter. God, I can't think of his name. Not Django, but Boba Fett. That was just okay. But I'm glad they did it. But the Skywalker saga's done. That was my era. I'm good. Anything after, it's like I don't care anymore. And I wish they would do something, that I would care for because I love the Star Wars movies. But I'm never gonna have what I grew up with. And that's fine. That's fine. But that's just how it is, us as men when we grow up, what we loved and enjoyed when we were younger. It's just, as you know, years start stacking, it's like things change, and we just have to be okay with it. We have to be able to find something else, as if it doesn't cater to us in our era and our generation, we need just find something else. Video games, I did find myself going back to like the old stuff, like the old Parasite Eve game, which I love, just the older stuff like that, and I'm fine with it, because that's what made me happy. It's just the stuff that I love video games for. But I didn't have a whole lot to say for this episode. Wasn't really a whole lot to talk about, because I know this is episode 10, and all the episodes, it's either been about me, my daughter, lost my mom, lost my brother, um, eh, for 9 episodes, and I wasn't sure what to do for this one. So I just want to talk about something just random. But if you all enjoy these videos, please hit that subscribe button and like and comment on these videos. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to hear, what you want to see differently. I am working on having a special guest on these episodes, like talking with other people, what fatherhood's like for them, with being a man is like for them. Um, but those are definitely for future episodes. I'm not sure when, um, but it's something I'm looking forward to, and I can't wait. Um, Again, doing these videos, it's like therapy for me. It's like, I get to talk about things that are hard to talk about, and things that would normally be difficult to talk about, but we need to talk about these difficult things, in our lives. Um, because we're in a, world where, the Me Too movement, or people, or these women are like, well, I'm independent. Oh, I bet you are independent. You can't go on a date with all those fucking men because you need us no matter what. So no matter how hard these women want to put us down, they'll need us one way or another. And we go through things worse than what they could ever imagine. We just don't talk about it. We just don't care. And that's what I'm trying to do is, you know, 100% genuine um, about, what I talk about. It is difficult for me on certain subjects to talk about, but I need to talk about these things, and that's what it's all about. But again, my name is Dave Hodge, and this is episode 10 of The Broken Dad. I hope you all enjoy, and until next time, y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Be safe, and y'all take care. Bye.